Hello, welcome to Sporty Dosage for yet another interesting episode with me, your host Joseph Yose Migelo. Now, remember to hit the subscribe button as we go on and get into the program today. Today, we're talking about why Livingstone football fails to attract sponsors. Why Livingstone football really fails to attract huge money deals, huge money sponsors. There are so many reasons out there that could be mentioned, but I summed up a few after some research here and there, and here are some of the reasons. Before I even get to that, remember to subscribe, like the video, and share with your friends, your family as well. And these reasons don't just apply to Livingstone football per se, they can apply to the whole of Zambia, the whole of Africa, the whole world per se, of why most clubs fail to attract huge money deals and sponsors. Now, reason number one is most clubs in Livingstone per se fail to get big sponsors or any kind of sponsorship because they're not formally set up or not well organized. Now, what I mean by that, you'll find most of these clubs are one-man run clubs. They don't have proper documentations to say they are owned in a way of a company by guarantee, or an LLC, limited liability company, or a partnership, or a sole proprietorship. They're just owned for the sake of just being owned, meaning that they are mostly ghost executive committees that are set up to run these clubs, and you find that the owner of the club will still want to be the director of the club, the manager of the club, the coach of the club, the team manager, the kit manager, and everything. And that usually throws off most sponsors because they wouldn't trust such kind of an organization, because there's no proper corporate governance system that would provide accountability for the sponsors' money going forward. So that is one reason that usually throws off most sponsors to sponsor such teams in the city of Livingstone. Number two reason, as we get to the second reason, hit the subscribe button. Remember to share as well. Now, the second reason is there's no value exchange. There's no proper value exchange between the club and would-be sponsors. Now, what I mean by value exchange, I'm going to emphasize on this. Most would-be partners and sponsors want something in return that you guarantee or you give back for the sponsorship that they'll give you. Now, this usually comes in form of advertising, brand expansion, as well as brand marketing, mostly. So when a sponsor comes to sponsor your club, they would want to brand their company on your jersey, provided that you have a huge following and you have a huge geographical area to cover, that you would market their brand out there. But you find most Livingstone clubs are usually just limited to Livingstone and Southern Province. Only Livingstone Pirates have gone as far as the National League, going around the whole country. So that in itself limits most sponsors, because they feel that their brand will only be limited to a certain geographical area, and most clubs cannot offer something in return, something in exchange of value that they would get. Sometimes it's not about branding, advertising, even just televising live broadcast games on their Facebook pages. Some brands would easily come and partner and say, no, we want you to be advertising for us on your page, on your official page. But you'd find that most clubs don't even have good content that would easily entice brands out there to come and advertise on their pages. So there's no value exchange per se. There is no leverage that clubs can use. Most clubs don't know how to create the leverage that can fish for a sponsor out there in return. Most people say, no, sponsorship is hard to come by in Livingstone. Sponsorship is what? Look, sponsorship is just not only limited to your geographical area, as in sponsors would come in. A sponsor can come all the way from elsewhere, like just elsewhere, not even in your own city. They would easily sponsor or maybe partner with you, provided that you provide something in exchange for the deal that they're giving you. I've put so much emphasis on that because most people just want to know, sponsors are not giving us money, but what are you giving in return? That's the number one thing. You must have something to give in return. And the third thing is there's no proper accountability in terms of financial statements, for proper financial records. You see, most of these clubs don't have, how do I put it, like an accounting department, or even just if you don't, if it's sometimes some of these clubs are way too small to have that department, but even just have proper financial records, it is so hard. It is so hard because I would be responsible to want to know how much money they're putting in, how much money is being used, receipts involved, investments, how much is the club investing in what to make the club sustainable. And also those financial records or financial statements can easily be used by the clubs to go to lending institutions such as banks and other financial lending institutions, such that you can get a loan, or you have easy leverage. If you have proper financial statements or records, there is easy leverage to use, like you have proper economies of scale to use to get a loan in return, so that you can boost your club. So it's so hard for most sponsors to come in and jump, okay, you want us to give you sponsorship, let's see your financial records, how much do you spend, how much do you bring in, how much do you get out there, how much do you pay your players and all that. So you find that that is one of the things that easily throw off a would-be sponsor, because there is no proper accountability of financial record. No matter how small the amount of money that the club would make or spend, it is not mostly recorded. Only a few clubs that I know are able to record how much they spend, how much they have. You find even most of these figures are falsified just to meet up, because no, they're having an annual general meeting, that's when they start preparing a budget and all that. But there's no proper accountability, just in short, if you just put it like that. Then the fourth, if not the third reason, the third reason actually is most of these clubs have no community outreach programs. Now, what I mean by community outreach programs is that it's quite of a challenge for most Livingstone clubs to maybe associate themselves with the community. Most clubs, like most sponsors, would easily come in on board. If, for example, a club would say, we have a girls team, we have this foundation or program, we are going out in the community trying to raise awareness of menstrual hygiene, or we're trying to raise awareness of girl child in school. We are creating a platform maybe for kids to come in and play. There's that exchange partnership with the club and the community. So most sponsors would easily relate with such kind of projects, provided for them it becomes a corporate social responsibility factor that they can easily support, and in that way it also creates some income for the club as well to run that community outreach program. You see, so most of these clubs are detached from their communities. They don't have any connection. The only connection they have is maybe players are just staying in those communities and coming to train, coming to play for them, and the community is there to support them and all that. But the clubs initially are not entirely supporting the community in return, and that it's quite hard to get in most sponsors who are aligned for a corporate social responsibility factor. So there's more on the corporate social responsibility. That's it's not just clubs, it's not just companies with huge money that can do corporate social responsibilities. Even small clubs, small academies maybe can say, no, we are going around the community promoting cleanness and awareness. They can be cleaning the community maybe once every Friday, and a sponsor will say, oh, I want to relate with the hygiene program that this club has, let me try to sponsor these guys one way or another. You see? So, and last but not the least reason, remember to subscribe, like really subscribe, hit the bell button, the notification, so that you never miss an episode of Sporty Dosage. Last reason, some clubs are just not attractive enough. Like, they're not. On this one, I'm going to be very honest with you, most clubs are not attractive enough. For one reason is there's so much controversy involved, so much bad publicity, wrong reasons to just be in the media. You find that there are wrangles of who owns the club, who's running the show. You find coaches are just smearing their team's names out there in public. transfer market deals that are just creating bad publicity for the clubs. So that would easily throw off a sponsor. Good casing example, I really like using this example. Livingstone Pirates, when they are relegated and sponsors were just standing at a faraway place because there was dramas as to who owned the shares of Livingstone Pirates at that time. So bad publicity, it just causes wrong reasons for sponsors to just say, oh, okay, we can't associate our brand with such kind of behavior. It is just so wrong. We can't associate with them. They are just not attractive enough. Not attractive enough. There's so much issues, disputes, slot sales, misuse of finances by clubs if they have a sponsor. Others even go as far to have wrangles within the executive to say, no, me I'm the chairman, me I'm the what, and transfer deals like going wrong, all that. Most companies would not want to associate with just bad publicity. For them, they're trying to get their brand out there. Make your club attractive enough to get the brand out there. But if it's just wrong publicity on that, you're no longer attractive. You're just a club playing. It's just a club there. I've seen cases where sponsors pull out because you're not attractive enough. It's wrong for the brand to associate with you. So hit the subscribe button, share this video, like. This is Joseph Yose Mijelo. Thank you very much, and thank you for the support. Thank you for watching this video. Bye.